Welcome to day 4 of Deepening Presence online meditation retreat here on Insight Timer. My name is Tomek, and like yourself, I'm here to meditate. I'm a seeker and explorer and very much interested in deepening and recognizing the life around me. So welcome to day 4. How are you today? Where are you tuning in from? As always, I will give you a moment to settle in. Please say your welcomes. For those of you who are here for the first time, raise your hand. This is our tradition. And for those of you who are regulars, please welcome everyone and make them feel at home. All right, let's see who's in here today. Caroline, beautiful. Good morning. Jane from Scotland, that's good evening. We have a guest from Minneapolis. Hello, Mary. Oh, hello, Diane. Good to see you. So all the familiar faces here. Thank you guys for accompanying me in this journey over the past couple of days, coming into Friday, tomorrow, at least Friday here. Hello, Leslie. Hello, Jessica, Nadine, Sharon, Dorothy, Ale from Mexico, beautiful, and Basha from Sydney. We have Jason from Massachusetts, and Joanne for the first time from California. Hello, Joanne. Good to see you. Hello, V. Oh, good to see you. As you guys tune in and settle in, let me just remind you, this is 5-day meditation retreat during which we focus on deepening presence. And first of all, I want to thank you for all the sessions, but in particular for the sessions we had yesterday, which was absolutely phenomenal. I felt that I went really deep within myself. And I felt that real connection with you, my listeners and fellow meditators. And that's what this series is about. It is about presence and how to get in touch with it on a deeper level. And something that helps very much, it is you being here. I just watched a brief story of a company called WeWork. WeWork, it's a co-working space where people gather, like-minded people starting their own businesses, to come together and to work on their own projects. And somehow, some way, the idea behind WeWork is that even though you focus on yourself and your own business, being in the presence of people that are united by the same idea of working on something, when you do it together, there's extra energy, there's extra inspiration and motivation to do so. And I believe that's how I feel. When I meditate by myself, certainly it is important and I make effort to do my best. But with your in front of me, so to speak, it feels much easier. It feels like there's extra energy, again, that motivation, inspiration to do so. And deepening presence is fundamentally everybody's project. There's not a single person on this planet that doesn't want to connect with him or herself on a deeper level. So everybody is your fellow meditator. Everybody is your fellow business partner, so to speak. I'm curious to know what you think about it. Hello, Nima. Hello, Sue. Hello, Sharon. Good to see you. We have Tamara from North Dakota. Okay. So as everybody comes in, I just continue the story of our retreat, and particularly something I want to focus on today. So as I said before, this session and all 5 sessions are about presence, are about something that is in each and every one. And in my opinion, it's something that it's very much undervalued and not emphasized, because it goes without saying that our life revolves about achieving, about pursuing goals, and all in all, about doing. And it seems to me that we are very often identified with the very doing, and forget, where does the doing come from? And the active ingredient of the doing, it's always the self. So if the self is forgotten or mistreated, or what's another word for it? It's not given enough attention, then the doing that we so rely on will suffer too. So I choose to kind of change the tactic a bit and see what happens when I bring my attention, and then attention being the mental currency, the most important currency that you ever have. It's not what you have on your bank account, it's the attention. That's what all the companies, by the way, want. They don't want your money, they want your attention. If they don't get your attention, they cannot get anything else. However, if they capture your attention, the mental currency, everything else just flows. So we focus our mental currency and investing in the self to see how your doing and everything else flows from it. And my personal experience, even during this 5-day retreat here on Insight Timer, I see that every time that I explore and tune in into that self and explore the presence within, things start aligning. Things start flowing easier, more spontaneously. And it is interesting to see that, because my ego identity, everything I learned throughout my life and all the things I'm being constantly reaffirmed with, points out towards, no, get another project, publish another meditation, another course, do more lives, do, perform, achieve. And every time I catch myself, that part of me, that identity and belief that it's deeply rooted in me, that makes me want to strive more, for more, and never satisfied. Finally, I say, stop. What is happening? Have I really chosen this path? And very often the answer is no. I am running on automatic pilot, which is the identity that I cherished and trained for so long unconsciously, that no longer serves my better purpose, no purpose of people around me. And to give you an example, when I feel stressed, when I am disconnected from myself, this very session I'm having with you will suffer. You will feel it. You will see it. And doesn't matter how hard I try. Again, the trying is the part that comes from the intellect. It tells me I have to try harder. I have to push through. It will make no difference. Because you as a human being, you are a detector of emotions. Through empathy, you will see that there's a dissonance, there's discrepancy between what he says and how he acts. So rather than doing that, as you could notice, I take a deep breath and ask myself, am I within myself right now? As simple as that. And if the answer to this question is no, that's absolutely fine. But everything starts with awareness of what there is. Everything starts with presence. And hence, we focus so deeply on the presence of the past 4 days. And this is my invitation to you, to change the tactic, to change business model of how you do things, and see if that's going to influence the outcome of how you feel, of the success, whatever that means to you, how the success of this kind of approach changes. As a scientist, I'm a strong believer into systematic pursuit of truth. Doing it in a systematic way, finding out for yourself in a systematic way. Create a protocol. If you're a meditator, and you are a meditator because you are here, you sit for, 20 minutes twice a day. This is a protocol. You have a system for it. And then within that system, what do? You try to be yourself. And along that way, within the moments of presence, there are also the moments when you discover that there are roadblocks. There are all those things that you don't want to feel, don't want to think. And the question is, where do they come from? Awareness arises. Because all those things will come when we start meditating in the second part of this session. You will notice there'll be thoughts, there'll be emotions, and they'll be thrown at you all the time. And as they're being thrown, and you bring awareness to them, you recognize, maybe this no longer serves me. This autopilot that I've been on for so long is no longer valid. And as I said, change of tactic, switching to different business model, if you will, pun intended. Maybe change of tactic is needed. And deepening the presence is the tactic. Putting yourself first, not selfishly, but on the contrary. If you want to help others, you have to help yourself first. Classic example of the announcement that you always get on, when you get on a plane, right? When you with a child, a mother is always told, I know you care for your child, but if the oxygen mask drops, put it first on yourself, right? Because if you are not taken care of, if the inner self is not taken care of, your child will suffer as well, right? This is the approach. And I think everybody knows that by now. And by the way, I always encourage you to put your questions or comments in the comment section. I'm always happy to answer, particularly that it's day 4, so we're coming towards the end. So if there are any questions that arose during that time, this is a great time to ask them, and I'll be more than happy to have a shot at them. And maybe together we can come up with something of value. V, thank you so much for your kind donation and for your support. And thank you, Caroline, as well. That's so nice. When it comes to donation, as I said yesterday, some of those donations do not show up, and Insight Timer is apparently aware of that. This is most likely a technical problem. What I want to say is, whether you support me mentally or through donating money, the both are equally important to me. It is the most important part of it is your presence. You already invested your attention in this session, and as I said, this is the biggest payout one can get, the attention. And thank you. I want to thank you and express my gratitude for your attention, because this attention will feed my presence, inspire me to be more present, and I hope that in return I can hold this space for you, and in return I can be by your side to assist you on your own path. Again, it's the example of co-working space. We co-working here. We collaborators, not competitors. And this is an important distinction. Nima says, I think in my case, it's a requirement to feel needed, so I do too much for others. The feeling of belonging and feeling of being respected and feeling of being appreciated, it's one of the most fundamental programming that every human being has. It's actually Abraham Maslow, the famous author that is known from the Pyramid of Needs, puts that at one of the basic needs. Feeling that everyone feels like it's belongs somewhere, that it's needed, right? That has its purpose. But again, I'm asking myself every time there's that feeling in me, it's like, am I doing enough? Where does it come from? Is it really required to work through entire life in order to be accepted? Who does the accepting? I'm not saying that working and performing and doing is wrong. Absolutely not. My question is, where does it come from? Does it come from some superficial identity that was imposed on us, on you, on me, throughout your life, through your upbringing, through how society works? Or is it a true need that comes from within? And this is a question that we're asking here, that we try to discover by deepening the presence. Go within and ask that question, throw it in there. Why am I doing it? Does it come from the true self? Whatever that means, by the way. I don't have a clear answer to you. You have to discover it for yourself and find those answers for yourself. My job is only to inspire you, to catalyze. I'm a catalyst. To catalyze this exploration. Jason says, I use that analogy all the time. In my mindfulness practice, I began almost 3 years ago. If I don't take off myself first, meditation, walk on the beach, then I'm not good for anyone else, like my family. Thank you, Jason. I like this comment not because it is something that I can say and you may just smile and wave and nod, because this is what I'm inviting you to. This is a discovery, a personal, direct experience of it, and that's what we are here for. Sure, the way I talk and the content of it has its purpose, but it's just an inspiration for the self-exploration that will come in the second part, which is the meditation. Sue asked me if I ask A Course in Miracles, and what is your view on that? Of course, it's one of the most fundamental books that once again indeed puts you in the center of everything that happens. You are the creator of your reality. That's what Course in Miracles teaches you. not somebody else, not the beliefs that were imposed on us, you. And the discovery starts with, who is me? How often do you ask yourself the question, who am I? Am I my job? Am I my bank account? Am I a parent? Who am I? This is in the center of all spiritual work, and also in the center of that in Course in Miracles. Because if you don't know who you are, everything that you do will come from some false belief system, or belief system that is not you. And that takes time. That comes from the presence. You ask those questions, you explore, and you find answers for yourself. Thank you, Sue, for that question. Maybe 2 more questions before we start meditation. I try to finish this session within 45 minutes. Jason, and then what we were just saying resonates with me. Like, why am I doing something? Is it for something I need to feel, or is it because someone else? I'm going through something now where my parents are definitely in the category, and it ties into the 4 agreements with the book of law as to why am I doing something kind of thing. Lots of awareness in this right now in my life. Thank you, Jason. 4 agreements, another very thin and important book that I recommend to everyone. It's about that inner work, asking yourself the questions, and obviously, everybody has been a child and has been a child to a parent. So that dynamic between us and our parents, whether they are here or whether they're deceased, it doesn't matter. It's always that connection is always there. It's one of the most fundamental things that we, as children, and everybody has been there, have to figure it out. And bringing awareness to it again, putting that into meditation, into the presence, is a fundamental thing, how you answer those questions to yourself, that role that you play. Is it something simply imposed by your parents? Or is it something, as you grow up and mature, is it part of you? Is it come from you? Thank you, Jason, for asking that. Christiana is here. Thank you for being here. Okay. I think now it's time to put everything that we talk about into practice. And practice is the simplest of all, not necessarily the easiest. It's deepening the presence. We will sit together and we simply allow the presence to arise. And what you will find, as I remind you of during every and each session, you'll find that presence is always there. However, it is obstructed. There's abstraction to it. Thoughts, emotions, body sensations, scenarios that come from the future or relate to the past, the usual thing. And our job is not to deny them, to destroy all those belief systems that get in our way, to not instantaneously detach from everything, but rather include it and recognize this is just a part of the journey. It might be not you entirely, but it's something that you experienced. So when you feel anger, it doesn't mean that you are an angry person. It means that you frequently experience emotion of anger. If you're anxious, right? If you feel anxiety, doesn't mean that you're an anxious person. It happened that you experience emotion of anxiety frequently. And perhaps you may ask yourself a question in this case: why is that happening? To whom is it happening? Is it happening to me, or that mental construct that I created unconsciously sometimes, or very often, because nobody wants to be nobody creates consciously a persona that is anxious by choice. But anyway, I ask you, every and each of you have their own challenges, their own thoughts, and set your own intention for this part of practice. Okay. So the meditation has already started because you are here. It is, as meditation teachers would say, it's now o'clock. And it's time to be present and to deepen that presence. It's that simple. And you recognize an only place you can start right now with your physical body, with your thoughts, with your emotions. And since this is not our first trip, we know how to go around it. Begin with allowing your eyes to close. And that instantaneously draws your attention more inside. And you start perceiving, engaging your inner senses that usually are disengaged because your focus is on 6 physical senses that bring the external inside. But now you working from inside out, not from outside in. So we always begin this journey with recognizing what is happening now. If you feel any discomfort and unease, maybe you may shift into a position that is more comfortable. If you feel tension in your throat, in your chest, in your stomach, taking a breath helps. If you have thoughts coming right now to your head, am I doing it right? Am I worthy? Is it me? Put all those questions in front of you. Be present. Without judgment, without trying to rephrase anything, without further engaging your intellect. This is not an intellectual process. Even when I'm talking to you and formulate those words, I allow the presence in me to arise. And this is reflected in the way I speak and in what I say. And I ask you to do the same. Allow the presence to arise and see how the presence acts through you. Every emotion, every feeling that comes to you, recognize it through the lens of the presence. And affirm in your head that I choose to be present to everything that comes to me. And you may experience, and each and every of you may experience this present in a slightly different way. Because presence, it's a multi-layer phenomenon. Right now, I experience the rise of presence in me as slowing down of my breath, as dropping of my shoulders away from my ears. I experience it as a viscous substance that starts in my stomach and dynamically shifts across my body. There is a softness, there's fluidity, there's a sense of going within. And there are thoughts that try to come to that space. My intellect is still switched on, but no longer gets in the way. I allow it to work side by side. And I include the headspace in the presence as well. You deepen the presence not by resisting, but by including it. The presence or awareness infuses thoughts, bodily sensations, emotions. It's not separate from them, but we choose to make the presence a part of it all. It's a slow process of deepening, going within, and we allow it. For some of you, it may come easy. For some of you, it is going to be difficult. A lot of thoughts. But that's the path. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's difficult. Yet, for this short period of time, we chose to walk this path. And the agreement that we make is to accept all of those that come our way. And infuse all those thoughts, all those emotions with the presence and see how they transform, how they no longer have the destructive power of irritating you, of triggering you, of doing all the damage that they normally do when you're unconscious. presence puts all of those above in a different light. When true self arises, you be playful with all those qualities of presence. However you experience them in your unique individual way. And now begin to return and expand the presence that you feel within to the space around you. And you do that by start being aware of the environment around you. Penetrating the layers of your physical body, recognizing the boundaries of the physical self, moving outside towards the room and space, recognizing the chair underneath you, on the surface underneath you, and staying present to that. And now adding gentle movement, starting with your toes. And then moving gently your fingers. Still being very present to that simple action. Gentle tilt of your head to the left. Feel the heaviness of your head and how the muscles in your neck stretch. Tilt your head to the right. Back to the center. And take one deep conscious breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. When you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. Thank you so much for meditating with me. Another special experience. Much presence. And I could feel almost your thoughts, your emotions, that expression of a collective consciousness. And it's my job to hold a space for you there. And as I'm holding space for you, I also include myself. And recognizing that the better job I do with my presence, the more benefit it is for you. It is not a selfish act. It is act that have also in you in mind. So I always ask you how, in one word, if you could describe, how do you feel right now? Let's start engaging that cognitive powers, that again we slightly, at least I, put them aside during meditation. Just one word. How do you feel? V feels peaceful. Jane relaxed. Jessica held. Interesting. Yeah. Sharon calm. Nora also calm. Ken relaxed. Sue feels calmer. Basha settled. Nima thankful. Kyle loved. Sandy light. Nadine soulful. Guest soft. Christiana peace. Dorothy peaceful. It's a lot of peace and relaxation. And certainly that being in peace and feeling at ease, feeling relaxed, it's certainly, in my experience, a better approach to everything. That's why the presence, the way I understand it, it's very often, or most of the time, comes when we feel relaxed, because we acknowledge there's nothing to be achieved. We are already there. Right? The presence is always within us. We don't need to we don't need to work for it. And that realization helps us to move forward throughout our day. And one of the intentions of this meditation retreat is to infuse your entire day with presence. Not just when you are here and then you get up and everything changes. And yeah, sure, meditation is meditation. And a session with Tomek is just a nice way to relax. And then I have to face the real life. Yeah, then I have to face the real struggles, and that's what the life is, right? It's a struggle and striving, and there's a lot of suffering and many challenges. This is simply one way of looking at life, and I'm certainly not here to tell you not to do it. I'm simply asking you, as I said before, perhaps there's a different business model, a different tactic to approach that day, and I invite you to come back to that presence that you experience during the meditation throughout the day, and particularly in the moments when you feel that you challenge with something, and see for yourself how it goes. Maybe it will work, maybe it will not. But how will you know if you don't do it? Okay, so infuse your entire day or night ahead with the presence. And if it's a day, look at your tasks. How will they flow from it? If it's a night, see how your sleep will be affected by it. So tomorrow we come back for day 5. And I think Liz said that it says it's day 1. Well, if it's day 1, I will change it to day 5. Obviously, it's day 5. I apologize for that typo. The same place, the same time. If you have any questions, thank you, Caroline, for posting Conscious Living Collective. It's a group on Insight Timer that you are welcome to join and ask questions there and become a part of the collective that meditates together. If you want to be notified about the session that comes tomorrow and any upcoming sessions, go to my profile, click the follow button, and most importantly, the bell icon, because that's what sends you those infrequent notifications about the events, meditations, whatever happens that you might be interested in. A lot of you say that with new versions of Insight Timer, those notifications go away and you miss those sessions. So the only way to do it is to check from time to time if those notifications are still on. But otherwise, I'm recording this session and we'll put the audio version here on Insight Timer, as long as being approved by the Insight Timer team. But much quicker, it's going to be on my YouTube channel, the video recording with audio, the entire thing. So you're welcome to rewatch the part that you're interested in, maybe just meditation, if you enjoyed it. Use it for your own purpose. It is there for you, freely available, for your purpose, for your growth, for growing your presence, deepening your presence. Okay, so once again, I want to thank you first and foremost for your presence. There's almost 100 of us here. I always am amazed how many people are tuning in and meditating together. And that's where the power comes from. Collective, collaborative engagement that I so much appreciate and infuses my life with an extra presence, an extra motivation, extra inspiration. Thank you for being here. And also thank you for your money donation. It's one overlay, one aspect of it that helps me to carry on with my daily tasks as well, which are inevitably an important part of the human existence. Thank you for that too. I'm very grateful. So to conclude, I look forward to meditating with you tomorrow with day 5, and I look forward to seeing you there. So for now, I wish you a good day or good night wherever you are, and until tomorrow, bye-bye.